in the floor, the bruise in the doorway. Don't say you see, you're living in decline. Keep your eyes low, keep your head in line. Don't name the sirens, don't count the doors. Don't look at the girls not coming home anymore. If you stay quiet, we can keep it neat. We hide the truth under polished feet. Don't say it out loud, don't give it a face. They hate a witness, they hate a trace. If you look right through it, they keep their crown. They want you smaller, they want you down. Do not notice.
I'm alive. I'm so sorry. I didn't realise I'd gone live. I'll start you again. You can.
Whatever you do, do not notice the rent in the floor, the bruise in the doorway. Don't say you see, you're living in decline. Keep your eyes low, keep your head in line. Don't name the sirens, don't count the doors. Don't look at the girls not coming home anymore. If you stay quiet, we can keep it neat. We hide the truth under polished feet. Don't say it out loud, don't give it a face. They hate a witness, they hate a trace. If you look right through it, they keep their crown. They want you smaller, they want you down. Do not notice, do not notice, do not notice. They want you small. Don't say you see it, don't break the wall. Your silence helps us steal hope from all. Do not notice, do not notice. Keep your eyes shut, keep your voice small.
Hi, good evening. Wouldn't be the same without some sort of technical hitch. Somebody once said you should get a producer so you don't do it. It's like, why would I do that? Oh, I've got a droopy microphone. Doesn't happen to me, ladies, I can tell you. Now, let's have a look at what happened this weekend. What an eventful weekend. I'm going to talk you through some of it. Let me just say to the lovely people of Tower Hamlets Council, I'd like to say to all of you involved in talking to the police, go fuck yourselves. I'll tell you why. What they did, Tower Hamlets Council, is they I won't say they lied. Well, actually, I can say the council lied, right? Because that's not defamatory. I don't know who it is within the council who lied, but someone told the police 20,000 people were going to come, which is why the police put Section 14 orders, public order, Section 14 orders on us, because the people in the council tried to say that it was going to be really dangerous for us to speak where we wanted to, so we had to speak in this other place. And we weren't allowed to start before 12, and we weren't allowed to go on a minute after 3. I mean, not that we wanted to. And quite frankly, we were happy to work with the police and cooperate with the police, because you sort of think if you do that, that you're going to be safe. So anyway, we wouldn't have needed Section 14 to tell us what we had to do. We would have done it anyway. If the police said you need to, we would prefer it from a policing thing. From a policing point of view, this is how we can best look after you. We would have said, yeah, absolutely fine, of course. But the people that didn't have any public order, whatever it's called, public order conditions were these twats. Let's have a look. Here. So these lovely people. And I'll show you what we did to try and combat this. So I just want you to remember, we wanted to go and do this where people were, right? That's where I always want to do something. The point of the whole Whitechapel thing was to go and speak in a place where there are people that have been moved on before, to prove that as non-violent women, non-Muslim women, and I don't know, maybe some Muslim, but not really, non-Muslim women, that there are places in this country that are no-go areas, and we weren't allowed to talk in the place that we wanted, and we were going to meet in a park, and apparently that park, there was a man stabbed, and then the park got named after him, because that always fucking happens when women get killed, doesn't it? Remember all those parks like Julie Park and Lisa Park and all the victims of the Yorkshire Ripper or whatever? There's so many parks named after women. So anyway, so we wanted to do it in this particular park that I can't be asked to find out what the name was. And the police basically said, no, community tensions, you have to do it here. So this is what we had to do. So we're here under the trees where we've been told we've got to stand. And it's in this sort of little triangle of the park. And I'd had a conversation with the police where they said 500 from Stand Up for Rapists were coming, and 20,000 people, Tower Hamlets Council had told them were coming to try and stop us from talking. And that's why we had to have it here. And as far as they were aware, because they've been talking to Stand Up for Rapists were actually going to be in Whitechapel. They weren't coming here. I mean, fuck me. I thought I was having a meeting in Whitechapel. But clearly, as a law-abiding citizen who communicates and cooperates with the police, we got royally shafted. No. Mary. We're going to have to stand here. Palestine will be free. So we had to stand there, because otherwise, if we did not stand there, they would have come right forward. And that's what they always do. It's absolutely insane. And can I just tell the police in that area, I will come next time. I won't be warning you. Might even come on a Friday. Might even come on a Friday and wear a fucking bikini. You just don't know what I'm going to do now, because I don't feel like cooperating with the Metropolitan Police. I wouldn't wear a bikini. That would be a public order indecency. It would be indecent. But maybe I'll go topless. But the Metropolitan Police, let me remind everyone, when my name was called out in a trans let's pretend women have dicks training session, they were encouraged to boo and hiss, and they did. So we decided that we would have to do this. I wasn't a happy woman. I did swear a lot. It was very hot. Look at them. We won't be intimidated as we try and shout down and drown your speech.
I thought they had no mask.
Oh yeah, so they're allowed masks and everything. So that's what happened there. We proceeded for as long as we wanted to, and then we left. So you would have thought that was enough police kind of stuff for one day, or one weekend rather. So the next day, I go to Speaker's Corner. We speak outside of Speaker's Corner, just on the entrance to Hyde Park where Marble Arch is. And I had this little encounter when I with this American. So let me show you. I think it's this one. So this is an American man. He decided he wanted to have a little chat about the exclusionary nature of everything I do, I think.
Listen to me, listen well.
He comes in a minute, I promise.
Hear the evil of Islamic rule. A book held high.
So he comes over and says, this is supposed to be Speaker's Corner where you're speaking, the American coming to tell us. This is Speaker's Corner where you're supposed to be speaking, and what you're doing is not what you should be doing at Speaker's Corner. Let me just swap. Okay.
Above the law, if you don't express yourself and you're just blasting music.
Well, we're expressing ourselves. So.
Sure.
Yeah.
Very exclusionary.
Not really.
It is if you're a trans woman.
Well, I mean, I don't know where he's very excited. Very excited. I assume, I can only assume he must have heard of me for him to sort of straight away start talking about the fact that I'm, exclude men.
Well, good. I'm glad we exclude that. Yeah, 100%.
Because your heart's filled with hate.
No. My heart's filled with love for women and the safety of women.
Well, I have no problem with that. I love women too, and I want them to be safe.
Good.
Yeah.
So you'll exclude men from our spaces then?
I draw a distinction between trans women and men, and the statistics show that very little violent crime and a violent crime conducted by trans women is much
It's the
lower.
same. No, it's the same.
Actually, I will correct myself. I looked at the statistics this afternoon. Now, I have got a hair on my face. I have, in the past, looked at something which was the Texas Trans Inmate Study, in which they looked at men serving time in prison in Texas and found that men who pretended to be women actually really enjoyed themselves in men's prisons because they liked having sex with men. So a lot of those inmates were homosexual men dressing as women, and they did actually commit more sex crimes. So I kind of knew that. And what we do know as well is that there's no statistics that support the idea that men who put dresses on are any less violent. However, what I have found this afternoon is that when they looked at the sex crime, so if you look at the American prison population, male prison population, 11.5% of the men in prison for anything, 11.5% of them are crimes of a sexual nature. That might be raping children. It might be downloading child pornography. It might just be rape or sexual assault. So those are the sex crimes. Like often you're told that it's because these men were prostitutes. That's not true. So anyway, 11.5% of kind of the general population of men are in for sex crimes, and about 50% of men in dresses are in for sex crimes. So they are overrepresented in sex crimes. So that was interesting.
Well, not in the
It
US.
is sexual violence. Well, it is actually. They did
not.
a study of Texas inmates, and they found that
Inmates might not reflect the general population.
I mean, he knows I'm a woman, right? Otherwise, he wouldn't keep talking over me.
they don't reflect the criminal population.
Let me just say that.
Actually, they did a study of Texas inmates, and they found that
Inmates might not reflect the general
they
population.
don't reflect the criminal population. There is no difference between the criminality of men, whether they cut their penis off, wear a dress, whatever they do. Men are all included in that statistic, and they don't differ.
Okay, well, what about a trans woman who hasn't undergone bottom surgery? Still a biological woman.
What?
A trans woman who hasn't yet gone through bottom surgery.
Who's a man? Yeah, biologically a man.
Still has a vagina. Biologically a female.
So you mean?
I mean, a trans man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about them?
So you have no problem with trans men that haven't completed their surgeries sharing space?
Well, I sort of think if you opt out of womanhood, I don't really care what happens to you too much. If you want to throw the gauntlet and you want to go in men's spaces, go for your life. That's a man's fight, isn't it? It's not my fight. I just want to keep women's places safe.
Okay. What about your posters? No hijab day. I know.
He really, really did want to find something that he could win. I won't spoil it, but he doesn't win.
A lot of Muslim women that would choose to wear a hijab.
Okay.
It's their choice.
Okay. Choice is a funny thing when you genuinely don't have one. If you've been subjected to a religion that says if you don't wear it, you go to hell, is that really a free choice?
So are you not religious?
No.
No. Okay. I appreciate that. I'm not religious either.
Mm.
What about a woman who's so for example, lives in Morocco, which
Yeah.
I've visited.
Yeah.
It's a fairly open society where I've
It's
spent
scary
time.
for women, but yeah.
Morocco is a terrifying place for women. Let me just tell you, I went there when I was 24 and not married and didn't have any babies yet. And I went when I was 24. And what the Moroccan men would do is kind of crowd round. You'd go in one of these narrow shops and they would crowd round. It'd be very difficult to get out without being groped. Very, very difficult. So when this man says about Morocco open society, it's so much shit. Like these men so don't notice the ways that women are subjected to really quite small lives. These men have no idea, which makes them so very sure of themselves.
There's women in Morocco who have the choice to wear a hijab or not, and they choose to.
Okay.
It's part of their culture.
There are women who choose to be prostitutes. Doesn't mean that just because you can make a choice doesn't mean it's genuinely a free choice or doesn't actually have incremental harm for everybody else. Like if I suddenly walked in this country today and I chose not to wear a hijab and everybody around me was wearing one, do you think I'd still have a free and open choice not to wear one?
Well, I think you should be yourself, not be them. Yes, I think you would. I think you would.
You think, well, maybe I would. There are some people that didn't salute Hitler, but most people
Well, sure.
did.
I'm not denying that there's some people that live in situations where they're pressured by their culture or their families to
Yeah.
conform.
Yeah. And I've talked to some
And
of
I'm a nonconformist, personally.
Look, I've talked to women who live in Saudi Arabia who've never
I think he's pretty much a conformist, don't you?
felt the sun upon their face since they were about 11 years old, who are subjected to an absolutely dreadful life,
Yeah.
right?
And I wouldn't disagree. I think, and I'm not touting Saudi Arabia as an example.
No,
of-
but that is a place where women are supposed to pretend. There's a
So,
pretense of
let's get-
choice, and they don't have one.
Sure. There's not even much of a pretense of choice in a lot of
No,
Saudi
because their
Arabia.
fathers were.
He's holding these ideas, right? So the things that he keeps talking about, that he's so sure about, he can't justify. In fact, what he seems to know is all the things that I say to him as a rebuttal, he seems to kind of already know and still come to these crazy ideas and conclusions that women make free choices when it comes to hijabs. Like, what woman without threat of hell and damnation would choose in a 40-degree heat to wrap fabric around their hair? Like, that is so insane. If those women loved wearing the hijab, they would wear it all day, every day, even at home when they're on their own, and they don't.
Will kill them if
Yeah,
they don't wear
yeah,
them.
yeah, and
So
certainly
whilst
that's
those women are subjected to that, whilst it is a tool of oppression, I don't genuinely think that it is a free choice for anyone. And if you do claim to freely choose it, then you claim to really not care
yeah,
about all those women that don't have the choice to wear one.
yeah. So I have only been in London a couple days. I've been in Britain a little longer.
Yeah. Are you from the States?
I am.
Yeah. Well,
So
you have
so
this free
I,
speech
I
stuff. We don't have it.
So what I have noticed in London is there's a lot of co-ed bathrooms where there's just individual stalls. So you would have no problem with a trans woman using those bathrooms, right?
I'd
Because
rather have women-only toilets.
you would,
Like,
okay.
yeah, women weren't consulted when the wanker of a mayor decided to change all this space to unisex spaces. Elderly men don't want it. Like, decent men don't want to use unisex spaces either. I've met elderly men who are absolutely desperate to go to the loo but won't because they feel embarrassed and they don't want to share that space with a woman.
Sure, but you can't deny. I mean, language changes, culture changes. So
Yeah, but it
holding it,
depends where it comes from.
like looking at old white men as the standard of what we should be keeping in our
Well, they
society.
made this country great, those old white men. They made this country great. Many of them sacrificed their friends and their families. They went to war for us. So those old white men deserve respect.
You're basically just afraid of change.
No, I would like to. Change has to be organic, bottom up. This is not organic and bottom up. This is very powerful people. This is top down change. That's what I don't like.
So you think if it went to a vote that the people of London would prefer total unisex bathrooms?
Have you seen how many Muslims are here? Do you think Muslim women use unisex bathrooms?
No, probably not.
Right. So I reckon, considering we're
I mean,
importing.
I have seen a number of them using unisex bathrooms.
Well,
but it
in
doesn't mean that.
schools, they have special toilets for ablutions for
Yep.
males and females
Sure.
if there's Muslims in those schools.
Sure.
So we bend over backwards for those people. So we either care about what they think or we don't.
Yeah.
And it seems like we only do when it's convenient. That's what I would argue.
Yeah. Well, you've obviously have your arguments down. I'm very opposed to. I have a lot of friends that are trans back in the States, and
Well,
I like to.
spaces because that would make most women and girls feel really
No, in the state I live in, they've absolutely used women's spaces.
disgusting.
Well,
What do you say to women who are afraid then? Do you think they should just shut up? Just deal with it? It is what it is. Just because that man might go and masturbate in a woman's toilet is tough.
I think it's very, very cynical to assume that's what's going on.
Fetish. Come on. You're a man. You understand fetish, don't you?
I understand
Yeah.
what you mean by fetish.
Yeah. And you don't think the men that are 40 years old start wearing dresses and knickers, you don't think they've got a fetish?
I think there's probably some of them that do. I think there's some people that have felt out of
Which
place
ones?
their whole lives.
Okay, which ones? Which ones have a fetish? How could I tell?
Okay, let me give you an example. A good friend of mine whose son, born a female, but now has gone through the surgery and is trans. His son, good friend of mine, known him since he was a little girl before
Yeah.
before all this changed.
You can tune in. I will do this as a whole clip because he's boring me. Anyways, do you want the juicy bit? Okay, let's see the juicy bit. So this is that wonderful Muslim man at Speaker's Corner who decided to come and tell me he wanted to cut my throat. I think we can all agree that that's not very nice. He also did it because it was about religion, which kind of makes it a religious hate crime. Haven't heard from the police today, let me just say. They took my statement, but I haven't heard from them today. So let's have a look at this geezer and what he says.
Were they?
Talking shit about Islam and what?
Yeah.
You're going to talk shit about Islam as well.
Huh?
Yeah.
Keep talking shit.
Yeah, okay.
I'm gonna cut your throat.
I will. You're gonna what? You're gonna what?
Don't get in
You're
my
gonna
face, bro.
Right. Where's the police? He just said he's gonna cut my throat. Police? Where are they? Do we have any?
Okay, so we walk up. And you can see this here.
Look how quick they are with their action. Hello. Yeah. So that chap down there just came up to me to tell me he was going to cut my throat. It's the guy here with his the thing on it.
So, let me just swap these over a minute. Let me just make this point. I think if I'd been a Muslim woman and I'd seen Tommy Robinson or someone like Tommy, someone who looked like he liked Tommy Robinson, and I'd gone up to the police and I'd said that man down there, Tommy Robinson fan, he's just said he's going to cut my throat. How quickly do you reckon? How quickly do you reckon they would have left that police van? Because I don't think, right? I don't think it would have taken them quite so long to pay attention. That's what I think. Happy to be wrong. Pretty much, definitely right.
Yeah, he's got a white t-shirt, grey white t-shirt.
He's coming.
Sure, they're going to race off.
Yeah.
Are they?
I think they're getting out.
You said, look, how long is that? How long does it take to get out of a police van? Hi, a guy's just said he wants to cut my throat.
Oh, there he is. He's right there.
He's right here, officer. This guy here.
This lady here is calling my Prophet Muhammad all sorts of words.
Never said a word.
Illegal for the disrupt.
No, don't say.
Now, that police officer was very nice. But like, I stand next to her in a minute. Now, I'm 5'1" and I do have blocky shoes on. So I'm probably like 5'3" in these shoes. Maybe 5'4" at a push. And she is tiny. She was very professional. Very professional. Her colleague even more so. Also another female, not particularly tall. But I just want to ask, like, I'm all for women in the police force. If you pass the same physical strength, stamina, and fitness as men, right? I'm even accepting that in some kind of units, it might be really essential to have females, particularly, just in units that deal with sexual violence, domestic violence, and so on. I accept that it might even be wise to have one female member always when attending a domestic violence or like incident. I also think in CID and further up the chain of command, I think there's a place for females. Frontline policing, when you see the size of a violent criminal against a female who's about 4'11", what the fuck are we doing? It makes no sense. Look, women, you can tell me I'm wrong. The same women that go, oh, men are too strong to play in women's rugby. You same women, you can't then say in a job that requires physical fitness, power, strength, overcoming violent criminals, you can't say that that is sensible. That's fucking ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous. Let me say again, she was very professional. She was wonderful, but she can't help her size. Recruitment can help her size, but she can't help her size. It's fucking mind-blowing.
He's threatening good boys.
Threatening right there.
Isn't this Lucas Horn?
Can't threaten to cut someone's throat.
Right, someone's saying they wouldn't want to be stopped and searched by a bloke. Right, I get that. I get it. So, then what you'd have to do is you'd have to, if they suspected you of something, they'd have to take you somewhere where there is a female to search you. But I'm just not having it. It is far more likely that the police are going to come up against a violent male, or even just a male doing the wrong thing, that woman, even if there were 3 of her, couldn't cope with. Like, they just couldn't. It's ridiculous. It's totally fucking ridiculous.
Well, you know, threatening you.
Yeah, he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's threatening me. It's threatening our profit.
Can you keep filming that,
This
please?
mama take come out of the boat. That's a threat. That's a threat.
What did he say was a threat? Let me just have a look.
This mama take come out of the boat. That's a threat. That's a threat. Not really way just yet, sir. Stay off on it. Hang out. Stay while we sort it all out, okay? Where did these people come from? Where are these people born? From here. You're not from here. You're fucking not from this world, bro. Look at your teeth.
We live here. Look at you. I was just.
We got it to the blood and then goes to good hair.
So
No, you're not going anywhere.
there's a rat. In a minute. Now,
This is too.
what they started to do is they started to say, we're here. The two young female officers said, we're here as part of a unit dealing with violence against women and girls. Like, so they were patrolling or staying around the park to protect women and girls from violence. So they might not be able to deal with my complaint. And I said, do we not think that's a bit ironic? Like, that doesn't make any sense. Anyway, so I sort of said I want to prosecute. I was quite insistent. I went in the back of that police van while he was around there, and I made a statement.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Taken from you.
So here, look.
Are they signing something? I'm supposed to.
We're probably going to go through some details. So we'll get a statement from you, which we will do probably in the bus because that cameras.
Yeah.
Okay, just go through stuff with you. We'll go through run some details with him as well.
Initially, they wanted to kind of take my details and maybe take a statement later.
And go through them there. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm assuming he'll be arrested. Isn't that the way it goes? If you like have a inside, yeah, legitimate. It could be the stage of we bring him in for once we get all the information together, provide a statement. It will be brought in at a time under caution, which is still exactly the same as being arrested, but you just not taken to custody at that time. So that will be he will get asked questions under caution. He was smoking drugs at the time. He was smoking weed. I'm pretty sure, wasn't he? Was he smoking weed? We don't know.
They say he's drunk. They say he's smoking weed, but I was you a bitch last month. Do you remember?
Well, he was calling me. Oh, he was calling me a bitch last month, apparently.
His glasses are wonky, so. Or his head's wonky, one of the other.
People are like, oh, I've never been. This is like a tourist attraction.
I got it on there as well.
You have, yeah.
That.
The thing is, it's on here.
I'd rather just get this done, so knowing that he's actually going to be charged.
We don't want it falling. Oh, he's there. Mine's full of stuff. Oh, it's a different guy patrolling there. It's a different guy patrolling. Yeah.
Can you hold that just one moment?
It's different. Yes, it's good. She unkindly said you can get your girlfriend again.
About that. So my sergeant right now is contacting the VCU to confirm what we call bronze, which is like the inspector higher up, to confirm if we are able to distract, like to get off from what we're doing. Okay. And able to deal with the situation. Otherwise, we're going to take the full report and then hand it over to the VCU. Yeah. So the PD area. And they will then. It's really ironic, right? Yeah. It's like, so you're here to stop violence against women and girls, but you have to ask to get a pause to see if you can deal with some violence against. Okay. It is what it is. It's unfortunate. Yeah, we got told, unfortunately, to kind of stay. We went to get a drink.
It's weird. Like the way, I mean, I guess you have to organise the police in some way and resources, but it does feel very odd. Anyway, they were really great, professional. I couldn't fault it really.
Yeah, it's not too bad today.
So that was the arrest. We've got other bits of the arrest available in areas of the internet. Go and have a look on Twitter. There's loads of shorts on YouTube. But it's it's really odd to deal with the police on those, nothing could nothing could give a finer example as a woman that's been doing this for a long time now, since about 2018, when I first got, 2017, when I first got asked in for questioning by the police. The two-tier policing it's insane. I think it's meant to make us angry. I know that if I had been a Muslim and I had complained about somebody on the Unite the Kingdom rally saying that they had been even called me a racist name, let alone said that they wanted to cut my throat, I just fucking think those police would have moved a bit quicker. It's really insane. And I'm sure look, I don't think white women are the only demographic that aren't dealt with. I think women that fight for our rights were kind of seen like a nuisance. When the police come out to police my events, they already think that I'm in the wrong. They already think that I'm the aggressor. When they arrived on the scene with Henry Novak lying on the floor, dying, they already decided that he was the aggressor, that he had started it. Like, without ever talking to him or anything. That's what happens with these police. So I have to prove that I'm a victim. I'm not automatically assumed that I'm a victim. It's totally insane. Like, he says, I'm going to cut your throat. And then he casually walks up to the police and says, I said some bad words about a man that raped a 9-year-old in the year 700 and something. And so that was a justification for him saying that he should cut my throat. So yeah, it's insane. It's all a bit insane. But let me just say to Tower Hamlets Council, to you, whoever it was, and let me just say, I record all my conversations that I have on the phone. So I have a recording of the police for my own benefit, for my own personal benefit, just in case you lie to me, Tower Hamlets. I want to know. I've put an SAR and an FOI in. I want to know where that 20,000 figure came from. That's what I want to know. I've asked you some questions. You better fucking come up with it. Otherwise, we will go to the ICO. Now, I happen to think that Tower Hamlets is probably a really dodgy, corrupt, taxpayer, tax stealing, misappropriating council. I think probably if we have a look through their books, I reckon they're a little bit cooked. I think there's probably a lot of corruption. I think it's probably a terrible, racist council. I think there's probably white people in that council. I think you're probably treated like shit. I'm just guessing. So we're going to see if you come up trumps and if you lie, because I already know the answers to the questions that I've asked. Just remember that. So when you start thinking that you're going to get round the information that I've asked for, just remember, I don't ask questions that I don't already know the answer to. Okay? So if you would like to support me and the work I do, get yourself a nice Union flag scarf, right? It is amazing. You'll get more looks. This is almost more provocative than a woman, adult, human, female t-shirt. Look, this is what we do, right? This is what we do here at Let Women Speak. We push that envelope. We keep pushing the conversations. We don't take the easy route. I know it's not popular. I know it's difficult for people to talk about Islam. I know it's not popular, but I'm telling you, each and every passing day, I feel if we don't stop it, we are going to live in an Islamic country. Like, I can feel it. I can feel it. So we have to. We have to do something about it. And we have to do something now, because with every passing day, it will get harder to turn this particular ship around. So anyway, if you can oh, didn't want to do that. If you if you can speak about the things that need to be spoken about, not because it's fashionable, not because it's shocking, not because you're going to gain followers, not because someone's going to think, oh, she's brave, but because it fucking needs talking about, otherwise we're all doomed, then I promise we will win. If you can be unpopular and be damned because you know you're doing the right thing, then I promise we will win. And do you know why else we're going to win? Well, because I never lose. Now I'm going to have to try and find a movie for you. No, not that. Let's have the wonderful Titi.
My name is Takia Khan. I am a tiny man. Sharp suit, cheap grin, wave my hand. Say I love London, that's the plan. I smile wide, I shake your hand. Tell you lies, you understand. Call it love and unity, while I take your liberty. My name is Takia Khan. I am a tiny man, big on power, built on lies. Truth gets lost while I rise. My name is Takia Khan. I am a tiny man. Wave your flag, I'll take your speech. Freedom's gone before you reach. I say I stand with LGBT, just another mask for me. Dress control as kind and fair, while I strip your voices bare. Inclusion is my disguise. Look too close, you'll see the lies. Every word a careful con, step by step till power's won. My name is Takia Khan. I am a tiny man, big on power, built on lies. Truth gets lost while I rise. My name is Takia Khan. I am a tiny man. Smile bright while I expand something you won't understand. My name is Takia Khan. I am a tiny man. Quiet moves, a careful plan. Take it all while I still